Hi.
Hi.
She's Katie Proctor, the owner of Books with Pictures here in Portland, Oregon.
And this is comics writer and critic and
Patreon person?
Douglas Wolk.
Something like that. And there's comics that came out today that we're super excited about. First up, the very first release from DC's new imprint, Wonder Comics Young Justice #1. This is Brian Michael Bendis, Patrick Gleason doing line art, and Alejandro Sanchez, who I don't know, doing colors, and it's gorgeous.
The colors in particular are a thing that stood out to me about this book. There is a lot of really intentional contrast. Okay, so rolling back, we start with Gem World. Who remembers Gem World?
Gem World, home of Amethyst, Princess of Gem World.
Obviously.
The magical girl comic that DC published in the 80s, which is lovely and worth seeking out. Dan Mishkin, Gary Cohn, and Ernie Colon. Find it, it's great.
#1 issues in dollar boxes all over. You can totally find a Gem World, Amethyst, Princess of Gem World #1 for $1. It's so charming and good.
And the characters from it are back in Young Justice.
So give us a primer on Gem World.
It's a magical girl kind of setting where there's, evil overlords and various houses that all correspond to precious gemstones. It's lovely.
Amethyst among them.
Amethyst among them. And dark opal and, the garnets and stuff.
So Amethyst, the Gem World Dark Lords are our villains in this book, but mostly this Wonder Comics Young Justice #1 is a relentless series of character introductions. This cover though, right? Relentless series of character introductions, each one of them more charming than the last. Lots of great splash pages, lots of actual laugh out loud moments. I loved this as a first issue. It is intensely self-aware in really fun ways.
It's super charming, it's super kid-friendly, it's lovely.
The second book we want to talk about today is the brand new Captain Marvel #1.
This is by Kelly Thompson, writing, line art by Carmen Carnero, color art by Tamara Bonvillain, and lettering from Clayton Cowles, who letters all the beautiful things these days. Or many of them. No, many. Tell us a little about.
So this is the first of a new ongoing Captain Marvel, which we haven't had for a while. We've had a lot of miniseries, but I'm thrilled to have a new ongoing, especially ahead of the movie coming out in March. Tickets available now. And what we have here is Carol's return to be a full-time Avenger, her return to living on Earth after a long time in space, her return to hanging out with her bestie Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and also, by the way, her sweetheart Rhodey is not dead, thank you Tony Stark, and so we also get back to the flirty datey banter that I am a big fan of. This is a fabulously condensed issue. We get the sort of setting up of our status quo, we get a new character introduced, we get a, hey, by the way, Rhodey's not dead sort of introduction, we have a fabulous throwback villain, we have
Machismo, old Fantastic Four villain.
Nuclear Man. Some monster battles, some tentacles, and then a nice little end of the book teaser for a really fabulous looking setup for our next couple of issues. So I'm delighted to have a new current universe Carol book back on the shelves. I am thrilled to have Kelly Thompson writing it. I really enjoy the voices we have throughout. I was saying that the Tony Stark voice that we have in particular feels very much like the version of Tony Stark that we get in Squirrel Girl, which is to say a self-important jerk. Lovable, self-important jerk. And pretty much anytime someone's writing Tony Stark and he's terrible, I'm very pleased.
Yeah.
So,
But Tony Stark is always terrible.
He is, though.
That's the rule.
tell me more about what does it for you.
This is so much about who Carol is as a character, and at the moment where people are saying, like, who is Captain Marvel? Who's Carol? Who is this person who's going to be in the movie? What should I know about her? This is what you should know about her.
Yeah. It's a great start. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this story goes. Also, just the action sequences throughout are a lot of fun. Lots of flying through the air, lots of explosions, lots of monsters, tentacles.
Yeah.
So, I also do want to say on the Marvel side of things, there is a new Spider-Man book today, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Speaking of voice, it is Tom Taylor, who's been doing amazing work on All New Wolverine and X-Men Red, both concluded series now. And now he's writing Spider-Man, and it's real charming. So
it is Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and it's about Spider-Man operating within the literal neighborhood he lives in.
Also just a super exciting start to a really promising new series. So have a look at that. And speaking of Marvel books...
Douglas
has a new project.
I have a new project. I've put together a private bulletin board for people to discuss one comic a day. It's all comics that are on Marvel Unlimited, spanning the history of Marvel's bizarre half-century plus of superhero amazingness. It is gated through a Patreon. So you go to patreon.com/DouglasWolk, you sign up there, it's $1 a month. The discussions are amazing so far.
It is so delightful. There are so many clever people in there, and you get takes from getting really nitty-gritty on the art, to the cultural studies angle, to weird, deep continuity, to Douglas explaining to us why some people are probably still and always Skrulls.
It's a lot of fun. There's like 130 or so people already involved. We would love to have more perspectives. Great. It's so much fun.
It's so much fun. If you're a person who, in particular, if you feel like comics are not as fun as they used to be, this may be a great way to rekindle that connection to comics are fun.
Really fun.
And to have a bunch of nerds to knock those ideas around with. Patreon.com/DouglasWolk. I'll put the link in the description. Definitely check it out.
Thanks so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
See you soon.